Hello everyone, welcome to our channel. My name is Harish Kumar. In this video, I am going to explain JavaScript promise. Many people struggle with understanding how promises work in JavaScript. So in this video, I will try to explain them as simple as I can. In JavaScript, a promise is a way to handle asynchronous operations. It is used to find out if the asynchronous operation is successfully completed or not. To understand the promise, first you must understand what is synchronous and asynchronous operations. In case if you don't know, I am going to summarize this in simple words. The synchronous code is executed in sequence. So every statement of the code gets executed one by one. So basically each statement waits for the previous statement to finish before executing. For example, let's say we have code statement 1, statement 2 and statement 3. So in case of synchronous operations, the statement 2 will not get executed until this statement 1 is not finished. Once it is finished, after that the statement 2 will start execution, and so on. On the other hand, asynchronous code doesn't have to wait. Your program can continue to run. So in asynchronous code, this statement 2 doesn't have to wait to finish statement 1. It is very useful to keep your site or app responsive, reducing waiting time for the user. Now let's come to JavaScript promise. As I said, in JavaScript, a promise is used to handle asynchronous operations, and it is help us to find out if asynchronous operation is successfully completed or not. And a promise has 3 states: pending, fulfilled or resolved, and rejected. A promise starts in a pending state. That means the process is not complete. If the operation is successful, the process ends in fulfilled state, and if any error occurs, the process ends in a rejected state. For example, when you make a asynchronous call, let's say API call to fetch data from the server by using a promise, while waiting for API call, or you can say asynchronous call to finish, the promise is in state called pending. Rest of the program keeps running, but this pending promise lives on. When the data is received from the server, the promise is fulfilled or resolved. However, not all promises are fulfilled. If any error occurred, then promise is rejected or in failed state. The next question is, what a promise look like? To understand how it looks, let's see JavaScript fetch method. It is used to make HTTP requests to web servers. Behind the scene, this fetch method is using promise. Now to use this fetch method, we need to pass API URL. Let's say it is http api_url.com, and this method returns a promise. Let's see. So here I'll say const response is equal to fetch API URL. And now let's console log this response. Now here in the console tab, you can see it has returned a promise object. And of course we get this error because this API URL does not exist. Now here you can also notice that initially promise state is pending. So if I console log this after 1 second, so let's say setTimeout. Let's console log this after 1 second. And after 1 second, you can see it has logged this promise object and its state is rejected. Now if I pass a valid URL, for example, let's pass this localhost URL. Now this time you will not see any error because this is a valid URL. And after 1 second, we get this promise object and its state is fulfilled. And if we see this object, and in prototype we have this then method. After response is received from the server, we will use then method to handle the response. So here we can chain then method like this, dot then, and it will accept two functions, that is resolve handler and reject handler. So initially when the method is called, the promise is in pending state, and then one of two things will happen. The promise will be either resolved or fulfilled, or if there any error, the promise will be rejected. Mostly developers do not like to pass reject handler in second argument, opted to chain catch method like this. And I think it looks more clean. Now let's replace this resolve handler and reject handler with the functions and see. So here function console log, and here I'll say resolved, and in this catch function, and let's console log rejected. Because we did not get any error, so it has executed this then method, and it has printed this log resolved right here. And if I pass invalid URL, and this time you will see we get error, and it has executed this catch method, and it has printed this console log rejected. And here you will also notice that its state is fulfilled because we have used catch method. If I remove this catch method, in that case the state will be rejected. And if I add catch again, now this time the promise state is fulfilled. This is how we can interact with promises using then and catch method. Now let's see how we can make a promise of our own. So let's see its syntax. To create a promise object, we use promise constructor. So here I'll say const promise and then new promise constructor. And this promise constructor takes a function as an argument. And this function also accepts two functions, resolve and reject. I know it sounds little confusing. A promise constructor accepts a function as argument, and this function again accepts two functions. But it is very easy to understand. Here in this promise, you have some code or conditions. If it executes code successfully or met the conditions, then call the resolve method. If it failed, then call the reject method. For example, let's say we have condition const condition, and initially it is true, and if condition, then call this resolve method right here, else call this reject. Now similar like this fetch method, we can use this promise variable. Let's see. So here I'll say this promise variable dot then, here it is going to accept a function, and then let's console log resolved, and next here I'll call catch and pass the function and console log rejected. Because this condition is true, so it is resolved, and here this then method is executed, and this resolve is printed here in the console. If I set this condition false, now it is rejected, and this catch method is executed, and this rejected is logged right here in the console. If I pass anything in this resolve method, we can get this in this function parameter. Let's see. So if I pass 1 plus 1 in this resolve, and then we can get this from here. So let's say that is data, and let's console log this data right here. It is rejected. Let's say it true. Now here you can see it has printed 2. 1 plus 1 is equal to 2. Similarly, in case of rejected, we can pass anything here. Let's say error, and we can get this from this function. Let's pass error variable right here, and let's console log this error. Now let's set condition false, and it has logged this error from this console log that we have passed from this reject method. Now you have basic understanding of its syntax. Let's see an example. Now let's say you have a array of numbers and you want to filter only even numbers from that array. Let's implement this by using a promise. So let's say here we have a function. Let's say its name is even numbers, and this function going to accept array, and it is going to return new promise constructor, and this promise constructor going to accept function, and this function going to accept resolve and rejected. And remember that instead of this function we can also use arrow function as well, like this. Now here, to filter even numbers from this given array, I'll say const numbers is equal to this array variable dot filter, and this filter going to accept function, and it is going to accept number, which is a single item of the given array, and then here I'll return num modulus 2 is equal to 0. It is going to filter the even numbers from this given array. Now let's resolve these numbers. So resolve numbers like this. In case if you do not know about array filter method, I have already created a video on this. I will put the link of it in the video description. You should watch that also. Now we can use this even numbers function same as we use this fetch method. Let's see. So let's call this even numbers, and in this even numbers function I will pass array of numbers. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Next here I'll say dot then function, and it is going to accept data, and let's console log this data right here, and you will see we have even numbers from this array. Instead of this function we can also use arrow function like this. Next, now what if instead of this array we passed a non-array elements, and you will see that here we get error. Array filter is not a function because here we have passed our numbers right here. Now here we will use reject method. So now here I'll check if array dot is array, and I will pass this array variable. If it is not array, then I will call reject method, and here I will say invalid array. Now in the console log you can see the error message changed. It is invalid array, and right here catch this error dot catch, and let's use the arrow function error and console log this error, and here it has printed the invalid array. And now if I pass valid array variable 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, we will get even numbers. Here we can also chain multiple then method as well. For example, let's say you want to multiply each array element with number 2. So here I'll say return data dot map, and then I'll use arrow function, let's say num, and then I'm going to multiply each number with 2. In case if you do not know about this array map method, I have already explained this in the JavaScript array method series. You can find the link of it in the video description. You should watch that also. Now here I have multiplied each array element with the number 2 and returned that array from here, which is going to send this result in the next resolver. So we can get its result in the dot then, and let's pass the arrow function, and here we will get next values. Now let's console log, and here we go, you get the new values 4, 8, 12. Let's see one more example. Now I will create a wait function that we can use instead of setTimeout function. So function wait, and it is going to accept time, and it is going to return new promise, and here I'll pass a arrow function, and this arrow function going to accept resolve function. Now here I'll say set timeout. Here the timeout is going to be this time, and next in this set timeout I'm going to call resolve function, and now it's done. Now instead of set timeout we can use wait function. Let's see. So let's say we want to wait for 2 seconds. So here I'll say wait for 2000 milliseconds, and then console log wait promise, and now save, and after 2 seconds we get this wait promise in the console. To see the difference, let's console log after this wait JavaScript promise, and here it has printed this JavaScript promise, and then after 2 seconds it printed this wait promise. This is the end of this lesson. I hope it was easy to understand. If you have any doubts, write down in the comment section. And thanks for watching. If you like the video, hit the like button, share this video, and don't forget to subscribe us. See you in the next lesson.